AudioJungle.
Good morning. Thank you for being here. We're being joined by many people at global launch events around the world, so welcome to all of them as well. We also have a live stream, and so a lot of folks are joining on the live stream, including Dinesh, I'm told. So welcome to everyone. This space used to be a power station for a chocolate factory in the 1900s. So we have transformed it pretty well, but I'm glad we have such a historic setting as we talk about what we are building for the future. At I/O earlier this year, we talked about our vision for that future. We're at a seminal moment in computing. If you step back and think about it, computing has always had big shifts every 10 years or so. It all started in the 80s, early 80s, when the personal computer reached the mainstream. It was the first time computing touched the lives of many people, revolutionized the way they work. Roughly a decade later, in the mid-90s, the web arrived. It is arguably the biggest platform shift we have seen in our lifetimes. It brought the internet to many more people, radically changed industries, fundamentally changed how people interact and connect with each other. About 10 years later, in the mid-2000s, with the advent of smartphone, we had the mobile revolution. That brought computing to probably now around half the world's population. And it's profoundly changing people's lives. And the shift continues. In fact, when I look ahead at where computing is headed, it's clear to me that we are evolving from a mobile-first to an AI-first world. What do I mean by that? In this world, computing will be universally available. It'll be there everywhere in the context of a user's daily life. People will be able to interact with it naturally and seamlessly than ever before. And above all else, it will be intelligent. It'll help users in more meaningful ways. At Google, we are very, very excited about this shift, and we've been working for a long time towards this shift. At the heart of these efforts is our goal to build a Google Assistant. We spoke about the Assistant earlier at Google I/O this year. We envisioned the Assistant as a two-way conversation, a natural dialogue between our users and Google to help them get things done in the real world. The Assistant will be universal. It'll be available when the users need it to help them. And our goal is to build a personal Google for each and every user. Just like we built a Google for everyone, we want to build each user his or her own individual Google. To capture our vision for what the Google Assistant is, we put together a short video, so let's take a look.
When we started, we made this for everyone, so that everyone could find anything they need among the millions of bazillions of things in the world. Today, it seems like sometimes it's easy to feel like you need a little help with the stuff just in your own world. Your photos, phone, videos, calendars, messages, friends, trips, reservations, and so on and so on. Wouldn't it be nice if you had some help with all that? Wouldn't it be nice if you had a Google for your world? That's why we're building the Google Assistant.
Hi, Amy. How can I help?
You just ask it what you need. Okay, Google, what do I have to do today? And your assistant understands and helps you out. You can even carry on a conversation with it. How long will it take to get to downtown Chicago from home?
Here you go.
What restaurants are there? Book a table at Cortino Restaurant.
Sure.
And the assistant is always there for you. So if you're on the road, you can ask it where to fill up. And if you're at home, you can ask it to play some music. Or if you're in a chat with a friend, it can show you what's playing tonight. It's like your own personal Google. Naturally, anything you share with it is safe and secure. And the more you use your Google Assistant, the more useful it becomes. Remember, my byte combo is 326.
Got it.
And soon, you'll be able to access it from all sorts of places, so it will be everywhere you are. We made this for everyone. And today, we're making this just for you.
Hi, how can I help?
Meet your Google Assistant.
So as you can see, that's our early vision for how we want to build a Google Assistant. We're just getting started, but in many ways, we've been working hard at this problem ever since Google was founded 18 years ago. We have invested in deep areas of computer science. Today, our knowledge graph has over 70 billion facts about people, places, and things, and we can answer questions based on that. Our natural language processing is what helps us make Google truly conversational with our users. And we've built state-of-the-art machine translation, image recognition, and voice recognition systems. And each of these areas is being turbocharged by the progress we are seeing with machine learning and AI. A few months ago, we captured the world's attention when DeepMind's AlphaGo won the World Go Championship against Lace et al., one of the finest players of our generation. It showed the external world the moment for AI has arrived. But for us, the progress has been continuous and the strides are huge. In fact, in the 3 months since AlphaGo played that game, we have had meaningful launches and how machine learning is impacting the products we build. Let me talk about 3 examples, all of which we have talked about in the past 3 months since the AlphaGo moment. First, image captioning. Image captioning is how computers try to make sense of images they look at. And we first launched our machine learning system in 2014. It was a state-of-the-art system, and our quality was around just over 89%. Our newer machine learning systems now, the quality is close to 94%. 4% may not sound like much to you, but first, it's really hard to increase quality at these levels because we are trying to approach human level accuracy. And second, every single percentage point translates into meaningful difference for our users. So for example, if you take a look at the picture behind me, about 2 years ago, we used to understand this picture as a train is sitting on the tracks. Now, we understand the colors, so we describe it as a blue and yellow train is traveling down the tracks. Or if you look at this picture, 2 years ago, we understood it as a brown bear is swimming in the water. Now, we can count, our computing systems can count, so we understand this as 2 brown bears sitting on top of rocks. Advances like this is what helps us when you're in Google Photos find the exact pictures you're looking for and be a better assistant to you. Another example, machine translation. We've been doing machine translation for a while. And historically, our systems are statistics-based, and we translate at a phrase-by-phrase level. So we translate individual phrases and combine them to form a translation. So if you look at this Chinese to English translation, you can see it makes sense, but it's not quite the way humans would translate it. Just recently, we announced our first end-to-end self-learning, deep learning machine translation systems. Rather than working at a phrase level, they take entire sentences and model sentences as outputs. And that's what you see in the middle. And you can see it is approaching human-level translation. You can look at this quantitatively, and we have a way to measure these things quantitatively. And if you look at our previous phrase-based system, it was quite far from the human system, and we closed a significant gap with our new machine learning systems. In fact, the progress for Chinese to English is so significant Last week, we rolled it out in production, and so today if you pick the Google Translate app, mobile app, and try to translate from Chinese to English, you're using our newer machine learning systems. And the progress has been amazing. We'll literally translate billions of queries over the coming year. This is what will help us if a user in Indonesia is using the Google Assistant, we can find the right answer, even if it doesn't exist in their local language, translate it on the fly, and get it to them. Another example, text-to-speech. Text-to-speech is what we call when computers read something aloud back to you. So when you ask Google a question, who is the Prime Minister of Canada, we understand the text and try to make it as natural as possible for you.
Justin Trudeau is the Prime Minister of Canada.
So this is text-to-speech. The way we do it today, we get a speaker into our recording studios, we record them for thousands of hours, we make them say short phrases, and then combine them to be as natural sounding as possible. Again, deep learning is showing the way. DeepMind just published a paper with a new technology called WaveNet. It's a deep learning model where rather than modeling phrases, they actually model the underlying raw audio waves to generate a much more natural sound. You can again see the WaveNet model is getting much closer to human speech. To me, the reason this gets exciting is today all we can do is a single voice for the assistant for all contexts. Doing this is what will enable us to have multiple voices, multiple personalities, get the assistant to differentiate between German and Swiss German, and one day even capture emotions when speaking to you. This is key to our vision for building an individual Google for each user. And more importantly, the assistant will continuously get better as we make progress with machine learning and AI. It is early days, but we are committed to this vision, and we are working on it. We are going to work on it for a long time. But it's equally important to get the assistant in the hands of our users. And that's what today is about. In fact, we started doing it about 2 weeks ago with our new messaging app, Google Allo, in which users can invoke the Google Assistant in group conversations. And the early reception has been great. They are interacting with it very naturally, asking us questions we expected, like tell me a joke, but also questions we didn't expect, like what is the meaning of life? So it's early days, but the assistant continuously learns from these experiences and keeps getting better. If you remember, our vision for the Google Assistant is to be universal, to be there everywhere the user needs it to be. Which is why today we are going to bring the assistant to 2 new surfaces. One in the context of the phone, which you always carry with you, and one in the context of your home. To talk about the Google Assistant in new hardware products, let me invite Rick Costello, the head of our newly formed hardware group.